Hi, and welcome to your best real day. And we're here with Ricardo Rosales.
And Raphael Vargas.
Oh, Raphael, special
What
guest.
up?
Hey,
Woo.
what's going on, Raphael?
What's
So,
happening, man? How are you?
good, good, good. I'll just quickly introduce you to my other folks here, and also our guest. My name's Charles Nguyen. This is Elizabeth Navarrete, and our first guest as well is Ricardo Rosales, and we got that special guest Raphael Vargas as well. So welcome, Raphael, and thanks for joining
Thank
us.
you. Thank you, man. I feel welcome.
All right, good. So just quickly for those of you guys who don't know Raphael, Raphael is out of Tampa, a very big virtual, we'll call him a wholesaler, out of Tampa, doing over 40 deals a month and over $4 million in revenue every year. And we're really honored to have him here. And I know you're pretty swamped, so you might have to cut out a little bit. But we just wanted to actually have you on and talk a little bit about this event that we've got going on in Houston, Texas. So October 4th, 5th, and 6th, we're bringing the top virtual wholesalers, or actually top wholesalers in the nation, to come to Houston, Texas for an event called WholeSCALING Live. And Raphael's, I'll just say whenever we first, all three of us started talking about putting on this event, I think they will all attest to the fact that the first thing I said was, well, if I'm going to be involved in the very first call I want to make is to Raphael, because we want to bring on the best in the world. And I was like, Raphael's the man. So welcome, Raphael. We're glad you're going to be able to come out to Houston and join us. And I think we all know we're going to make sure you have a really good time when you come down.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited. I know you guys are going to have like 300 plus people. I'm excited to start promoting the event, getting people to that event. Man, Texas has such an amazing group of real estate investors. So I'm just happy to share, all the trials and tribulations that I've learned in my 7 years in this business. Even though I'm 27 years old, I'm still a knucklehead, but made a lot of mistakes in this business, which has gotten me to the point of success where now, my companies collectively this year are doing over 10 million in revenue. We're buying commercial assets, office buildings, self-storage facilities, multifamily. And so God has just ridiculously blessed me, and I'm just excited to share the journey. And then most importantly, share the tips of how to scale a company, right? How to actually scale a company, build your acquisitions system, how to do your unique marketing to get, we got over 350 calls just today, from homeowners in multiple different marketplaces. How do you lock up deals, find buyers in these marketplaces, and do deals virtually to literally have a business that can scale to $100 million if you want to. It just depends on how many markets you want to go into. And so I'm really excited to share this at the event, at the WholeSCALING event. Really excited.
Oh, no, absolutely. So we're definitely looking forward to having you down. And then, just for full disclosure, I am actually in Raphael's mastery program. And it's kind of, I think these two will attest, it's kind of changed not only my business, but also kind of my life. And they've seen me scale up almost every aspect of my life in probably the past probably say 2 months or so since I've gone to your event. So definitely, really excited to have you come down and have you share kind of some of the things that you've taught at out there in Tampa. So definitely, really looking forward to having you down.
Yeah, man, I look forward to it, and hopefully I pressured you in a good way. I think, I tend to do that subconsciously, is pressure people to their highest potential. And so hopefully everyone that comes into that room feels that same kind of vibe and leaves there, wanting to push themselves to a higher degree than when they came. So super excited, Charles. And it was great meeting you guys as well. I look forward to seeing you guys in Texas.
Thank you, Rafael. We are honored to have you and can't wait to meet you. I've heard phenomenal things about you. I've seen a lot of my colleagues grow just tremendously, and thank you for pushing them to a next level, because that's causing us to go to the next level too. So you're really inspiring a lot of leaders in our community. So thank you for that. And just one quick thing, what is something that motivates you on a daily basis? What is that one thing? What is the secret sauce behind Rafael Vargas?
Man, that is a phenomenal question, and I think it evolves around two different things, right? For me, one, it's my relationship with God, my faith. I feel like I'm really connected. I have a lot of peace with the purpose that I have in my life, the purpose that God built me for, the purpose that I was born for. So I have a lot of alignment for that. But something that really motivates me is people, right? People is what really motivates me. I'm literally here in my office, here in our 5,000 square foot office. We locked up, over 200,000 deals already, $200,000 worth of deals already this week. And what motivates me is people, pushing people to their highest potential. In the beginning, when I first started, I had a struggling mother and a mentally stable brother, single mother. And that was my initial motivation, was I want to become a millionaire to retire my mother. And so I did that, and I retired my mother 100%. But then it was like, God kept pushing me to higher visions. And now it's, I want to impact over 1 million lives. I want to impact and create over 1 million leaders. I want to give back millions and millions of dollars to my favorite charities to help at-risk youth and build leaders up and create opportunities, create jobs, create leaders that create jobs and more businesses, and just make a strong impact. That is what motivates me, is my vision. And I have it right there on my board, right there on my board is creating leaders, dominating markets, giving millions. It motivates me, it pushes me every single day.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We appreciate all your philanthropic efforts. That says a lot about you and a lot about you, the human being that you are. And thank you for everything and for giving back to the community. That's absolutely key. I think that's a key trait for a leader. That's a true leader right there. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Man, I'm looking forward to meet you, Raphael. The first time I heard about you was from actually somebody that was sort of associated with me. And he came to me and said, Ricardo, I'm so excited. And I was like, what is that? Man, I'm going to Tampa, Florida for some, I don't know if it was a boot camp or a mastermind or what. And I was like, you're doing what? With so many gurus that we have here in town, you're going, and he's like, no, man, you really have to go look up this guy, right? So I literally got on my computer right away, and I was like, okay, who is Raphael Vargas? So I go there, I look it up, and it's like, man, okay, all right, so he's got something cool going on. And then I start hearing from all my buddies, Charles, and then we have a couple of guys here in town, and he's like, oh, Ricardo, no, you need to look into Raphael. And I was like, okay, so if Charles is bringing Raphael's name now I know I really need to pay attention to what's going on. And I've been following everything you guys have been doing. I've actually been in contact with your COO a few months ago, maybe a couple of months ago, about maybe doing a few deals together, because I got deals going on in Tampa. I'm going to be there next week. So I'm more than happy to maybe stop by, say hi, and check out what you got. And
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate what you're doing for not only my friends that are involved in your mastermind and all that, because they have gone to the next level. Like, I mean, I call Charles the wholesaling ninja. Put it to you that way. Okay.
Yes, he is.
He is. He's doing like major things, right? And I met a bunch of the other guys that have been affiliated with you, so I can only see great things happening, not only for you but for everybody around you. So. We appreciate you becoming part of WholeSCALING here in Houston. I know you're going to bring down the house, and we're looking forward to have you here, man, and have a great time.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, look forward to it greatly. Whenever any of you guys are in Tampa, let me know. Come by the office. Love to get with you guys. And, look forward to crushing it at the WholeSCALING event and, giving so much value to your people.
No, definitely. Yeah, and I'll just one quick story from me. I think we both know Nick Perry. So boy, Nick Perry out of Austin. I think I talked to him earlier this year, and I was like, "Hey, I'm looking to go to a different couple different classes and whatnot where people are teaching, and especially about scaling." So he's like, "Just look at Raphael Vargas." I was like, "Okay," and I was like, "Okay, what about it?" He's like, "Just go." I'm like, okay. I got mad respect for Nick. So he said, just go. I was like, okay, I'll just book my ticket and let's go. And so now when people ask me about it, I just tell them, just go. All right. Yeah. So definitely, and we're bringing you to Houston. So everybody in Houston, just come. You won't want to miss it because Raphael, from my understanding, you don't really do this. This might be the first time you've done it, and definitely the first time you've come to Texas to do anything like this. So definitely looking forward to it, and everybody come down in October. It's going to be epic.
Hey man, anything for you, Charles. Man, I love that you're empowering me, and I just look forward to the point that maybe in just a few short years, your company surpasses even us, and soon I'm going to be like, man, you got to go to Charles. You got to go to Charles. You want to scale your company, you got to go to Charles. And so I really look forward to seeing that. Because one important part of my leadership that I really take with is, something that Jesus said. I don't want to get all biblical here, but something that Jesus said was, I want to, the reason I'm here is that I'm here so that I can teach you to do greater works even than I do when I'm gone. And so the goal is not that, I create leaders, but my ego is too big. You just can't grow past my ego. I want people that I grow with to grow even past me, to surpass me. And I have no problem with that. That's why I'm built here. And so I look forward to that moment that I'm telling people to run to Charles. Hey, you want to scale, you got to talk to Charles. So anything for you, man. I'm excited to come down to Texas. I want to visit Texas. So many people in Texas. So excited.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, one of our things here is, our whole concept is best real day. So, obviously finances isn't really that big of a deal for you or an issue. But what would your best real day actually look like?
A day?
Yeah.
A day. I'm walking past my floor right here, so it's a little bit loud.
Yeah.
But a day for me in the days, I'm getting into the office at 7:30. I wake up, I wake up early in the morning, and I just start, immediately start praying, be grateful for what I do in my day to day. I get to the office at 7:30, and that's when I plan out my entire day. My calendar every single day is broken down in 30-minute increments. So I'm breaking down my entire day by calendar. I get into the office. I have our sales meeting, know exactly what deals are on the board, the priority of the deals that we have to sell. I get with our commercial underwriter and see, hey, what deals are on the board for our multifamily and our self-storage acquisitions. And, it's just daily giving good energy, good vibes to the office. That's my role as a CEO and the visionary. I'm like the chief energy officer. So we want to make sure the energy is high for our sales team. We're crushing our goals, setting the standard, and I'm setting the standard as a leader and pushing myself every day because, we got guys that come in, I get in at 7:30. They're supposed to be here at 8:30, but we got guys that come in at 7:45, 8 o'clock. They're supposed to leave at 6 o'clock, but they're leaving at 7 p.m. sometimes. It's because I set that standard of that discipline, that hard work. And so, daily I'm just showing and leading by example. And obviously I have multiple different companies, so my days fluctuate. But that's kind of a standard for me. Every day the standard is just dominate, win, and lead by example every day.
Awesome. Yeah. You've definitely built a very good culture there. I mean, I know I've had the opportunity to come out to your office a couple times and hang out with Javier, Carlos, and the rest of the crew. Really good guys. When you come down here, then I'll explain some of the things and some of the impact that you've kind of made to me. Not just, like I said earlier, not just in my business, but kind of me personally as well. I think both of these folks here are like, does Charles ever sleep anymore? Because just out there crushing it, So cool. Well, I definitely know you got to run. You're kind of swamped, and I really appreciate you kind of stepping in and saying hi to the folks. And we definitely look forward to having you come down to Houston October 4th through 6th, and we're gonna crush it when you get down here.
Let's do it. Look forward to it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You
Bye.
too. Have a great day.
Bye.
That was completely great, man.
That was awesome.
You started your first podcast and boom,
Yeah.
Rockstar in the house.
I know. We got the top virtual wholesaler in the world.
Right? Good for you.
It doesn't get any better than that.
It does
but
not
it will. It will, though.
It
It
will.
will. Well, we got a lot of work ahead of us and a lot of amazing guests to help us get to that level with Raphael, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So maybe we'll just kind of, I guess, maybe jump into kind of what the event's going to be all about then. So I mean, I'll just start off with what we're doing. All right. So obviously, you guys have heard the dates a couple times, October 4th through the 6th. So it's going to be 3 days of content-packed information where we're bringing in the top investors in the country. And it's, first of all, it's not going to be a pitch fest, because I know we've all gone to a lot of events where the whole premise is, we're doing upselling and whatnot. There's no coaching program attached to the back of it. We're not offering masterminds or anything like that. It's just purely content. We went out and picked the best investors in the country, and we invited, we vetted all of them as well, in terms of making sure they're doing the business. And the other thing is that they're a go-giver, because when we bring them in all to Houston, we want them to be providing a ton of value to everybody who's coming. And kind of the premise of the actual event, the name is going to be WholeSCALING. So it's, how do you scale your wholesale business? Right? You may be running a mom and pop business, but how do you scale it so that it becomes a multi-million-dollar enterprise, kind of like what Raphael Vargas is running? Right? We didn't get in detail there, but he's running in probably 8 different markets, and he's doing tons of volume. And I think you heard what his target is for the rest of the year. It's 10 million this year. So he's the top guy out there, and obviously why he was kind of the first call on our side in terms of who we want to bring in. So maybe Elizabeth, maybe you want to walk through some of the other guests that are coming?
Absolutely, yes. When we decided to join forces and make this happen, our main consideration and our main, I guess you could say, the platform that we built this on is addressing all the issues that wholesalers have. Because trying to run this business, it's multifaceted. There's so many things that are involved, so many moving parts that are required to be well-oiled in this business, that there's even just from getting your leads to screening, not just screening, but running the skip search on them, to how are you going to target them? Are you going to cold call? Are you going to do mailers? Dispositions, because everything tends to be very acquisition heavy, but disposition is not really addressed. That tends to be one of the main concerns of wholesalers, and that limits them from scaling to the next level. So we're going to address everything from the moment of mindset, how to get your mindset right, all the way to dispo, and how not to waste any leads, how to increment your business using your current deal flow. So how to get creative with your actual leads that you have currently. So with that being said, obviously our headliner of the event is Raphael Vargas, which you just saw. Phenomenal human being. We also have out of Phoenix, Arizona, we have Steve Trang, real estate disruptors. Yes, you can also check out his podcast. Phenomenal human being.
Great
he has
podcast, by the way.
Yes, his podcasts are amazing. You will see Charles on his podcast September 18, and you can go back and look for me on his podcast from March 27th, I believe, or 28th. I was there with him. Phenomenal human being. He has multi-businesses, and with his wholesaling business, he's just built something tremendous within Phoenix, and he's doing very, very well. We also have Bryant Ponciano, which we all know as BP. He's part of the Arizona Flip Guys. Amazing guy as well. We will have Pace Jordan Morby. He is a closer, closer to the max. He is one to go into a property. He won't walk out unless he gets a property closed and signed and done. So he's definitely a closer. We'll have Jamil Damji from Keegley, and he's also doing amazing things. Keegley, just look him up. You'll see how phenomenal he is. Good friend as well.
They're doing heavy volume, right?
Yes, heavy volume. You have Daniel Chad Moore, the king of Propelio, which is an investor software tool, and he's doing amazing things in our community as well. We have Nicole Espinosa, the short sale queen from Dallas, Texas. We'll have rising star, superstar Antoine Campbell from DC as well. Jamie Burleson Woolley from Dallas, Texas. She went from doing 13 deals a year to 100 deals a year plus. Female real estate investor, just phenomenal powerhouse woman. I highly recommend you listen to her as well. Follow her on social media. We will have Nick Perry as well out of Austin. He used to run Indeed, right?
Yeah, he was in senior management at Indeed.
and he's going to address how to properly build your team and how to do the onboarding process. That's a big issue that a lot of investors have when they're looking to scale is hiring. Hiring is key. The way you hire and the way you fire, that makes your business, that just changes dramatically throughout the process. And also we'll have your wonderful Annie Dragonova from Phoenix, Arizona as well. Batch skip tracing. She's your data girl. I mean, she is phenomenal, and she's going to cover that topic as well. I don't think I'm missing anyone, am I?
Yes, you are. You're
I
missing
am.
Mr. Charles Wayne.
Oh,
You're
Yes.
missing Miss Elizabeth Navarrete, right?
Thank you.
And Mr. Ricardo Rosales.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll be talking a little bit about what we
Yeah.
do and how we do it.
Right. Can't forget though. Also, Ryan Harper and Nelson Martinez are working together.
Yes.
A very important component too of our event as well.
And, actually, did we mention Don Costa?
Don Costa.
You leave the OGs
Oh,
for last, right?
Yeah, OG's
So,
last.
Mr. Don Costa with the Flip Talk podcast, and he's got a wonderful operation. He's running like 63 deals. I mean, he's building big things. So we are excited to have him here and come over to Houston to basically share his experience on, and like Raphael talked on Zoom, it's more about struggles and how to overcome struggles and how to readjust your business so you can grow at a scale. So you cannot miss this event. It's like the best of the best put together, brought to you by the
Well,
team here
yeah,
together,
all of us, the whole
All of
scaling
us,
team.
yes.
and the rest of our team.
We have
Yes.
an amazing group of
Yes.
volunteers based out of Houston and some from Dallas, Texas. And you'll get to see them a little bit here and there as we go throughout our journey of preparing this amazing event, the best event ever that you'll ever see, in particular in Texas and hopefully the nation. That's our goal, that we aim to make it the best. And our team is just the best. We're so blessed to have such amazing human beings that are entrepreneurs, that they're just heavy hitters in our industry, and really real go-givers as well. They believe in the power of giving back and community, and I think that that's key. We couldn't have had a better team.
And they're all investors. So
Yes.
it's not like, we just pick people off the streets or off of Facebook or whatnot. We said, look, everybody involved here should be an investor. It should be doing something regarding to what we do one way or another. And for the most part, all our team members are either wholesalers or rehabbers or, something that has to do with what we do. So we're proud to have them on board. I think we picked up the best of the best out there. Not that there's no other better people out there. Of course there is. But what we have right now is a pretty powerful team that's going to bring you the best experience
Does.
that you'll ever get
That.
when it comes to wholesaling your business. Whether it's your wholesaling business or wholesale. Remember, wholesaling. How do you define wholesaling, Charles? Because you're the one that pretty much came up with this term, right? I want to see what your thinking process is when it's like wholesaling. What's wholesaling for you?
So, I mean, I'm probably like a lot of people out there. When you start wholesaling, then you start off by doing everything yourself.
Right.
It's right. You're pulling the list. You're sending out the mailers. You're taking all of the calls.
Yeah.
You're making all of the offers. You're going out to all the appointments. You're selling all the houses yourself, and your transaction coordinating on top of that.
Right.
And then, kind of when I started. You two know that I had a full-time job,
Yes.
a wife and 2 kids, so I was pretty busy.
You had the golden handcuffs too, because it was a
I had a pretty decent job.
it was a good job.
Yeah. Now my daytime hobby was a director of IT at
Right.
an investment bank.
Right.
So I mean it there was a lot of struggles. But then as you kind of start to learn things, and I mean, my personality, I'm one who I like systems and automation because that's what I grew up on.
Right.
I was in IT, so that's what I did for a living.
Right.
And so as you start scaling up, then you start figuring out, for me, kind of this event that we're putting on is basically the event that I would have wanted to go to a couple years ago.
Yes.
That would have absolutely made everything go much faster for me.
Yeah, you would have caught up on experience to time to amount of deals and money made much faster if you would have been able to compress that time.
Yeah.
Something I didn't have either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't speak for you,
Right.
Elizabeth,
Well,
but
the same. Really, when I started, I mean, when I first got into real estate, it was 2003. We didn't have any of this information, and when we decided to,
I don't think Podio existed.
no, it
No.
didn't. Everything was just Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yes, and things have evolved quite dramatically since then. Obviously, we weren't really wholesaling then. It's been a transition for us to get there, but it's just changed a lot.
Did the name exist back then, like wholesaling? Did it call
Not
it? Was
really.
it
We
called that
just
way,
knew.
or-
We just knew. We knew that this was an exit strategy for us. We really didn't have a name for it. Really, it didn't come out till after.
I wonder who came up with that.
I don't know.
Or who
Nah.
assigned because a wholesaler is a middleman.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? So and so you can be a wholesaler for goods. You can be
Yep.
a wholesaler for, products, right?
Right.
But a wholesaler for houses, it's a good homework to do. Like,
Yes.
who came up with assigning the wholesaling name to what we do when it
Right.
comes to wholesaling?
Yeah.
But I know who came up with the name for wholeSCALING, which is taking wholesaling to the next level.
That's right.
So we're gonna have to attribute that to Mr. Charles Nguyen.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good brand, by the way. I love it.
Yeah.
Most of our team loves it. So for you, wholeSCALING is, in a nutshell, how do you go from doing it all by yourself, contracting, assigning, transactional coordinator, into, okay, now I'm gonna implement systems, hire people, and go big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I
And
mean,
multiple deals, right?
oh yeah. I mean, and you guys know me well enough to know where I try to automate, outsource as much as I can. So now it's, how do you even take that to the next level where, just like what Raphael was talking about, he's shooting for 10 million this year.
Yes.
So how do you grow your business from, one deal, couple deals a month out to, 50 deals a month, 100 deals a month? Because if you put in the proper scaling systems, then anything is possible.
Anything is possible. We have to agree on that. I guess the first time I actually applied the term whole scale was more like flip scale,
Yeah.
because I started backwards. I started flipping at a scale. And if I would have understood wholesaling before I went and flipped or scaled my flipping business, I don't think I would have ever scaled my flipping business. I would have went the wholesaling side, but I didn't understand wholesaling. I didn't understand the speed of money that wholesaling can bring, or how fast that a transaction can take place from the moment you contract it to the moment you dispose it. I didn't know any of those things. All I knew was I buy something ugly, I make it pretty, and then I go make a profit.
Right.
And that's what I scaled. So I fell backwards into it, pretty much, into wholesaling.
Right.
And then, okay, how do I scale this now, right? So
Yeah.
I had to, I wish I would have known about Raphael's, existence, because
Oh.
I think it would have saved me a ton of
Ah.
headaches, money, experiences. But we're happy to have him here, and
Yes.
he's going to
Wow.
share all his wealth of knowledge, and so is everybody else that you just mentioned, Elizabeth.
Right.
I think we have a heavy hitter lined up.
We do.
Yeah. And I mean, kind of one of the nice things I think we did whenever we put together the list of people who were going to come is each one of them is going to talk about a very specific thing that they do very, very well.
Yes.
So, for instance, Jamil, I mean, they're a heavy disposition house.
Yep.
Keegley, 50 to 80 deals a month. And they are very, very good at dispo. And I've actually interacted with some of their actual agents here in the Houston area because they're in the Houston area now as well. So I can see what they're doing, and they've got a massive operation if they're
Right.
going to do 50 to 80 deals a month.
Impressive.
Yeah, and HR from a hiring perspective, Nick Perry. I mean, I know for personally, I've talked to him a lot about it, and I'm kind of following what he's doing because it's working for him. So I'm following that exact same process. So that's what I really like about all these folks is it's good. They're really good
They're
at
doing
their
it.
specific thing, and that's the most important thing too. They're actually out there doing it.
They
Right.
are doers. Every single one of the people coming to the WholeSCALING Live event in October 4, 5, and 6 are doing it. You're going to hear it from the people that are actively doing deals. They're doing stuff. They're going to open up their books on this is what my operation looks like. This is what my architecture look like, which it takes a lot for people to do that because you're really displaying your secrets. You're showing the world, hey, this is what I've done, and this is how I do it. And by the way, this is what it looks like. And also the struggles on, all the roadblocks that we all face, but very few people talk about.
Oh.
So you will see this at WholeSCALING Live, So we're looking forward to see you there, guys and ladies and gents.
Wow. And
Yes.
and actually, Ricardo, you kind of hit on a couple things. Can you talk a little bit about kind of we're bringing all these top investors in the country coming in and kind of basically sharing their secrets. And there's a lot of folks out there like, why are you bringing in people to share the secrets to create more competition in our Houston market? What do you say about that?
It's the law of abundance. So part of our core values, and I can speak in our behalf, is that we believe that the more we help out other people grow their businesses, the better we all do collectively. So it's all about how we can all work together, how can we benefit as an industry, and helping other people grow. Automatically we will grow. You become the average of the people you hang around with, right? Mm-hmm. So if we can better our community, we as a community, we grow. So they all share that belief system. They all have podcasts, or most of them do. Maybe not all of them, but most of them do. Or most of them are doing some sort of social media interaction where they're teaching people how to do it. They're excited about showing others, hey, if I can have success doing it this way, or like you can too, right? So it shines that light into the audience to where it is possible to have success in not only in real estate, because to me, wholesaling, you can wholesale almost anything. It doesn't have to be real estate. It can be, I don't know, the drug business, for instance, right? So going back to that, they started back then, in Colombia back in the 80s. They wholesale that massive operation. It was insane. By the way, this is not what we're talking about. We're going to talk about real estate, but it's just to give you an example. So the term wholesaling is really very broad. It can apply to any other business. So even if you're looking for like wisdom on how do you scale your traditional business, then you need to come here, because most of these guys, really what we do have is traditional businesses that they just happen to be tied into the real estate side. So for every one of the speakers to come over and share their secrets, they're really applying the law of abundance. They're helping people out. They really mean well for everybody when it comes to, they want to see people succeed, because it's kind of like planting those seeds. You're planting seeds, and then you're going to see that tree grow within years. Raphael talked about it earlier on the podcast. He said, man, I wish people kind of like blow past through what I've grown. That tells you how humble he is.
Absolutely.
Because he doesn't have to be the biggest guy.
Yep.
Right? And he is okay contributing for somebody else being bigger than he is. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much our philosophy. I think we all align with within those lines. We want to see our friends do good. We want to see our community do good. I like to see, a year from now, how well some of the people in the audience went or most of them went and grew their business thanks to what we're doing, right? So I guess I don't know if that answers your question, but it's following that line, right? It's the law of abundance. We love giving back. When I started my podcast, it was because I wanted to give back. I wanted to find a way to contribute to the success of others on my time. So I found that doing a podcast was, one of the best ways to reach out and put that energy out there, right? So I think what we're putting together right now, it's really unprecedented. I would call it that way because our core values are upfront, and we're making sure that we stick to that. You know, we want to deliver the value. We want to share as much as we can, so to contribute to the success of others. That's pretty much it.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Really good. So, and earlier you had mentioned the word best experience. So, what is that? Can you expand on that a little bit?
Best experience. So, number one, we did research on the venue that we're gonna do, which is the Marriott Convention Center in the Woodlands. It's got a bunch of pretty cool restaurants around it. Beautiful scenery. The Woodlands is probably the prettiest scenery around Houston. It's you got bars, which we love. We do a lot of real estate events at places like that, right? Even though Charles is not drinking alcohol right now because he's got his own
I'm focused right
program.
now.
He's very focused in what he's doing. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna enjoy some of those festivities, around the venue. We really want people coming from out of town and people from town to come to the Woodlands and have a great weekend. And pretty much, not only you're gonna be able to learn, you're gonna be able to take notes and take a lot of ideas on what you want to implement in your business. But we want to network and connect, and we want you to feel like that is home for you, and that every time we meet, maybe not in Houston but in Chicago or I don't know, Atlanta or Las Vegas, or even if you are crossing, from one airplane to the other one, and you see a guy wearing maybe the pin or whatnot, it's like, okay, we're the same, right? So there's that connection there. So we really want to build a family, and the experience is gonna be the determining factor that actually gets built. So what you're gonna experience. I don't know if I can get too much into details, but like the premier people, we're gonna be hanging out on this closed location with entertainers and things of this nature. So we're gonna be able to bond, as human beings and as business owners from one business to another one, without worrying my business is bigger than yours or your whatever. It's not about that. It's about how can we help each other out? How can we learn together? How can we grow together as a community? How can we impact each other and then have a great time at the same time? So we picked up the best venue, which is the Marriott. I know I mentioned it already, but go check it out. It's beautiful. We have preferred rates, by the way. So make sure you check out on the website how to get your room booked and all that. But you're gonna have everything within walking distance, and you don't have to go much further to have a great process. It's 20 minutes from the airport, so if you're flying from out of town, it's easier for you to move back and forth from the hotel to the airport. And we're gonna have a couple of good things that I don't want to disclose right now, but it's gonna be mind blowing. It's all I can say. The undisclosed location for the premiere, and then we have a couple other parties that are going to be attached to it, a few lunches that are going to be running around. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. So that's the top secret party, right?
It's a top secret party.
Top secret, we still don't even know where it's going to be at, but it's going to be something amazing. I think that I wanted to go back to our speakers because they're pretty much the main focus, obviously, aside from our attendees. When we created this list of speakers, we were not just thinking of just big names because that's key, but also we were thinking of our friends, because most of these people that are coming out to speak to Texas, they're close friends of ours. We have interacted in other circles within our industry, whether it's at a masterminding level, which you've done with Raphael, which we've both done with Steve Train, and also without even knowing, we actually ended up doing a masterminding with Pace, which was amazing when we were in Phoenix. So to me, it's like I have such tremendous respect for all of these people, and also with Jamil Damji. Finally got to meet him in Dallas, and he's just amazing human being, mind-blowing businessman, and I'm so excited to have them come to our stomping grounds and meet our colleagues here and just help them see what we see in them, because we see such amazing things, and I want them to have that contagious personality, a contagious spirit of that mindset, that positive mindset, just give to all of our attendees at the event.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be really good with a lot of the speakers. And I think Ricardo kind of hit on this a little bit too, about the networking. Because I know I have met a ton of my really good friends from networking.
Yep.
And I'm starting to meet your friends now, and your friends as well, right? So just by, and you know what? On our way to the studio, I was talking to Neil, our producer for our podcast, and which is probably going to be our producer for many other things that we're going to do together. And he's asking me, like, how do you guys come about putting this event together? And I was like, Neil, it is simple. We started on our events locally, bringing Charles, and then we bring Elizabeth, and then Charles and Elizabeth get to connect. But it was because we started this synergy of, trying to help each other out and delivering value. It was all about that, always about that. It was never about, because we don't charge money to actually, we feed beer to people, at least on my events, to come. So it wasn't like we're trying to make money off of this, by selling tickets or whatnot. And because we started that synergy of giving back and giving back and giving back, somehow all three of us kind of like plugged ourselves in, and now we're putting this thing together to where it's going at a huge, bigger scale that we've actually ever been a part of. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's the power of networking. This event started because all three of us accepted to network with each other and to do things together. So this is what WholeSCALING is all about. You're going to come in, you're going to network with a bunch of doers from the different markets, because there's going to be doers from Florida, doers from California, doers from Phoenix, Arizona, from DC, from Houston. I know a lot of our friends are going to come in and they're going to start plugging in with all these other people that are like, they didn't know about, because we're opening a huge network. We're creating a huge network national for people to do deals pretty much everywhere. So it's the power of networking. And it all started because we started networking amongst ourselves in little events,
Right. I think that the key thing is, for everyone that's listening to us, show up. That is key to me. The power of networking and the power of scaling, the power of connecting with people within your market and particularly outside of your market, is just showing up. Showing up for yourself, showing up for your vision, which could also be your why. Showing up for that, and then everything else comes as an added gift to the package, right? Just by showing up. It's so many opportunities. I always talk, when we talk to our team or we talk to other people and we want to bring them on board for anything, it's like, look, the opportunity train, that train of opportunity sometimes comes around once in a lifetime. You don't jump on and you start asking 20 million questions, you're going to miss out. It's going to leave you there on the station as you scratch your head thinking, should I have jumped on or should I have not? So don't have those limitations of should I not? Look, if you are looking to make your business explode and take it outside of your city, this is the time. Now is the time. It's day one or one day, right? I say that to myself a lot. I'm like, look, is it day one or one day? I don't want to be that one day person. I want to be day one.
That's
because it all begins there.
I remember having a conversation on the phone with Charles. I don't know what we were talking about, but it was like, hey, what's going on? What's in your plans? And we started talking about, like, we want to go big, but it was more Charles like, just want to go big. And I was like, what are you talking about, Charles? Like, what do you mean, like, you want to go big? Yeah, whatever event, like, we do, I want to go big. I was like, oh, so you're going to put an event together? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, dude, I've been thinking about the same thing. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm doing all these other events around town. And now we're doing one in Tampa. We're going to start doing one in San Antonio. And because that's where I want to hit. I want to go have these big events. And he's like, okay. And, I've been talking to Elizabeth and we're sort of, and I was like, yeah, me too. Elizabeth was helping me with the one in spring. So okay, we just need to get together and kind of like, how do we, bring this thing to life, to where we're not running in different directions, but we're pulling towards the same goal, basically, which is connect people, be a facilitator. Like when I asked Charles, so what do you do? I'm a facilitator.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We're basically using the core values of being facilitators and caregivers to bring WholeSCALING life to our friends in Houston and to everyone that's coming from out of town. I think it's going to be epic. The onboarding of all our speakers, it's pretty much sealed. We were waiting on one guy, but what we got already, if you're not getting here, you're gonna miss out big time, at least on the first one. So
absolutely. And don't, just because we're in Texas doesn't mean it's only for Texas residents. Everyone, because we will have people there at the event. Our speakers are going to address certain they're going to have a call to action, and if you're in their city, you're in, because you already have boots on the ground, and some of them are looking to expand to other markets. You can be their boots on the ground too. So anywhere you're from, just come to Texas, and possibly someday we'll be able to go out to your market too.
I know, absolutely. I mean, that is the power of networking, because I know, just for me personally, I mean, you guys all know, I've been to quite a number of national events this year. Every time you guys probably talk to me, I'm like, I'm flying somewhere to go to some event, and a lot of it is.
I ran into you in Tampa.
Yeah.
I was in Tampa doing deals, and then I wasn't even talking to Charles. I was talking to another friend of ours. And he's like, yeah, come on over, let's go have a few. And then I go there and I see Charles. I was like, oh, look at what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm just here, networking and learning, and cool. And then we went and had dinner. So yeah, we can attest for that.
Yeah. At the time, I was probably thinking, I'm here wholesaling, but I probably didn't want to tell everybody about that yet.
I would have been like, you're here doing what? I would have been lost.
Yeah.
Hey, now we've got another addition to the family, right? Not just WholeSCALING, but what is it, Simon?
Flip scaling.
Flip scaling. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's we'll have to have him in the studio too.
Yeah.
Let me tell you more about that.
Yeah. So and that's the one thing, right? Is when you start hanging around people, then you all start rubbing off on each other. And I mean, I think most of the people who have been around me, especially lately, has been all about, how are you going to scale?
Yeah.
All right. How are you going to scale? And and also, what's it going to take for us to help you get there?
I remember you saying something, I just want to go big. I just want to go national. And me personally, I never questioned it. I just said, okay, whatever you're going to do, just let me know so I can help.
Right.
Or so we can do it. I don't know what you mean right now, but I'm okay. Like, I'll help you push, So, look, that's what it was born now, and it's got form.
Yep.
We know exactly what we're going to talk about and who's coming and what we want to deliver to our guests, which is the attendance and everybody coming from in town and out of town. So I'm excited. I'm pretty excited. I'm pumped up about this. I think if you're missing out on WholeSCALING with us and with the network that we're putting together, we want you to come and network and grow your network. This is for you. It's for us too, because we're going to learn. We're going to take a lot of notes. We don't know it all. Even though our businesses look somehow similar, they're still different.
Right.
And everybody's business is going to be different. But they're going to be able to come to WholeSCALING. They're going to be picking up pieces from everyone that's going to be on the stage and from the group as well, because there's going to be heavy hitters sitting in the audience. That doesn't mean because they're in the audience, they're less than the guys that are on stage. No, the network on that audience is gonna be pretty strong. So,
Wow.
I'm only looking forward to that date.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And me, I'm like, if anybody comes, feel free to come, and Ricardo and Elizabeth will be the same way. Feel free to come up to us and say hi and let us know where you're from, because I know. For me, when I've gone to national events, next thing you know, I'm getting the lead in that area, and
Yes.
I know the exact person I got to call, because I went to an event and I introduced myself to people and met them, and that's how you cultivate relationships.
That's right. I remember you introduced me to someone in another town, and or city, I would say, And we started talking, and he's got a similar business. And I said, look, man, I got like 4 or 5 deals going on right now here. And it's like, how come I didn't know about you? Well, because I didn't network in the area. But if it wasn't because I was hanging out with you that day, I would have never been able to connect. And now I have somebody I can rely on to say, hey, can you help me with this? Or can I help you with that, so we can help each other out? So that's the power of networking. You're going to be able to network with people from all over the country, heavy hitters from all over the country. This is something you probably don't want to miss.
Absolutely. And the website?
Is WholeSCALINGLive.com.
Yep.
WholeSCALINGLive.com. Go ahead and make sure you get the ticket, premier ticket. If you don't get the premier ticket, get you the VIP ticket. Can't
Those
get the
are going to
VIP
sell
ticket.
fast too.
Those things are going to go fast because we don't have that many. We want to make sure that our premier and VIPs get, I wouldn't say preferred treatment, but they're going to get some pretty cool things, related to the speakers and the parties and all of that. And if budget is tight, hey, we also have the one for the budget, for the tight budgets. Put your budgets together. That's probably where we're going to have the majority of our audience is on the executive. But the executive is also packed up with a bunch of goodies. So
Yeah, there'll be a lot of value for sure. But, I think what Ricardo is saying is he's basically warning all of you that if you don't get the premiere up front and it sells out, you'll probably regret it later.
Yes.
Because of the things we're planning for them.
Exactly. So just go ahead and make sure you're there, okay? Whichever way you can, make sure you're there. We're gonna take care of you. We're not gonna love the premier more than we love the executives. We're gonna love everybody the same, but there's some things that you're gonna miss out if you don't go for the small audience, which is the premiers and the VIPs.
Absolutely. Okay. So one thing I know we're going to probably wrap up here in a little bit, but one thing that we'd like, obviously this is the first podcast that me and Elizabeth have started, so it kind of definitely started off with a bang, right? Yeah. We got our great friend here as a on-site guest, and then obviously we had Raphael on here earlier. So I'll ask him the same thing that ask you the same thing that I asked him is, assuming money's no object. And not an issue. What would your best real day look like? Because we're all out here grinding or whatnot. If you didn't have to worry about the grind, what would you actually do all day, and what would that best real day look like?
To be honest with you, I'm already living my best day, and so to me, it happens on a daily basis. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I practice gratitude, and it's a new day, right? I'm alive. I have my children. That's probably what I enjoy the most now. I have 2 little kids, and I just look at them and I appreciate what it is that God has sent my way with these 2 beautiful children. Not to say anything about my daughter that's 21 years old already, but I enjoy that, and that's how my best real day starts, is with my children. Then after that, I practice a routine in the morning. I don't actually look at my phone for 3 hours in the morning, which is
That's good.
Is crazy. Yeah. Some people might say it's crazy, but that's how I operate the best. It removes anxiety from you. It removes from you getting distracted with things that, because we're all business people, right? So what's on the phone? A bunch of to-do things, and they're all in a priority to where I gotta get to this, I gotta get to this, I gotta get to that. And if you get up in the morning, you look at your phone and you start going through that to-do list, you probably will bypass your best day. So I've been practicing my best day for a few months now, and it doesn't matter what life is throwing at you at the moment. If you start with gratitude, appreciating what you have going on in your life, accepting and appreciating all the challenges that come your way, you are set up for success. And I learned how to do that, pretty fast. It's, how can I have a best day even when I have challenges coming my way? So that's what I do. I practice gratitude, and I have a routine that I follow through, and then I go around my day. And, if I had to put the icing on the cake, to me, my best day is actually on the beach. I love the beach. I want to live in the water. In front of, like, if there was a tsunami coming, I'm the first one to go. Okay.
So where would that be?
Probably Tampa, Florida. I love
nice.
Tampa. And I was reflecting on a trip I did to Cancun with my family. Actually, it was my last vacation, almost 2.5 years ago. And the reason why it's taking so long is because we had a lot of adversity in the last 2 years after Harvey happened and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
So vacationing wasn't on my priority. But I went to Cancun with my wife and kids, and I looked at the water, and the water was so calm. It was blue. The sand was white, and I was just enjoying myself staring at the ocean or the Gulf in this case. And I thought, why do I have to live in a city where this is not present? And then I started reanalyzing my life. Like, why am I still where I'm at, right? So I started creating the picture of what my best real, not only day, but life will look like going forward. So for me, it will be living on the beach, and I'm already making plans. So that's going to take place at some point. I don't know how soon. It might take me 10 years. It might take me a year. I don't know. But that's in my vision board already. It's on my plans moving forward. And my best real day will be waking up, which I'm already doing with my kids, maybe little or grown, having them around, spending time with my friends, and doing what I love, which is what we're doing right now. So that's what my best real day looks like.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, what can we or anybody in our audience do to help you get to your best real day?
Send me money. Nah,
wires or checks?
Yeah, we take. I love wires. Because they clear your account right away, right?
Yep.
I'm not the guy flashing checks on Facebook or anything like that. But I guess just connect. Connect with me or connect with us. How can I help you in your business? Right? I'm a giver, so. And I'm an entertainer. If you've both been to my house, you can see that the kitchen is wide open to the whole house because I like to entertain. So just like entertaining, I like taking care of people as well. So if you're out there, just connect with me. Hey, Ricardo, I heard your podcast with Elizabeth and Charles, which, by the way, congratulations on your first podcast. I think you could not have started it the best way, not because of me, but because of Raphael coming on board as soon as we started. So I think you guys are going to have a great audience moving forward. And your message is, I love it. The best real day. I think that's what we all should strive for, is to have a best real day every day. So
Awesome.
just to connect with me and tell me how I can help you. And I'd love to help.
Okay, great. And how would our audience connect with you?
Well, through the best real day. So pretty sure we're going to be doing this, every so often. I also have the Renovating Riches Radio podcast, which both of you are there and sharing your stories on where you come from, your struggles, and where you are today. And also the Truth Behind Success, which is where I share a lot of the struggles that we all go through, but nobody talks about, right? And how to overcome those challenges. Because it's not about, oh, poor me, I'm doing bad, I got hit by life. No. Hey, we all get hit. We all go through struggles. This is what I do to overcome those challenges. So check us out, man. RicardoRosales.com, thetruthbehindsuccess.com, The Best Real Day. I don't know if you already got thebestrealday.com, but I'm pretty sure you do, Charles. Knowing you now, my friend, that you've probably got that and many other things, right? But that's how you're gonna get a hold of us.
Okay, great. Well, appreciate you coming on.
My pleasure. I'm honored. I'm honored to be your
first
and a half guest. So because Raphael jumped and I'm honored that I was in the same podcast with Raphael. So it's a great honor to have him here.
Yeah. Surround yourself with good people, and good things happen.
Good things
Absolutely.
happen.
Yeah. So I guess we'll wrap up now. And just a reminder, if you're interested in coming to our event, it's WholeSCALINGLive.com. We'd love to have you there. We want people to come in as wholesalers and leave as a wholesaler.
Yes.
So, we'll sign off now and look forward to seeing you at the next event, and hope you have your best real day.
And follow us on Facebook and Instagram at WholeSCALING. You can find me at the REI CEO. And Charles, how do we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at BestRealCharles. So now they understand why I'm named that way.
Yes, now I get it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll be back for another episode very soon. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.